Well, hello and welcome to our seventh annual Ask Us Anything show, our second annual live Ask Us Anything show. Michelle, how you feeling tonight?
Well, I'm excited.
She says with a tremor in her voice.
I just don't want to sound stupid.
Yes. How can that be possible? You're next to me. You can never sound more stupid than me.
Oh, that's not true. You're smart.
Welcome to it, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate you being here with us live. For all those of you who are here with us live. If you're catching us at a later time, that's great too. We appreciate you either way. But we're going to have some fun tonight, right, Michelle?
Absolutely. And I just want to do a shout out. We have somebody near and dear to us who is not going to be able to chat. She's actually driving while listening. So, shout out to Joyce. Thank you so much for joining along.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. It's nice to know the choices out there. Yes.
Yeah.
And look who checks in. It's Denise. Denise is here with us.
Hi, Denise.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Oh, and look, Laquan's here. Hey, Laquan. Good to see you here as
Hi.
well. So, yeah, this is great. People are already showing up. We're going to have some fun. We've got some questions, a couple that were sent to us in advance. We're going to go through those. You can ask us your questions as we go through this. Mostly, we just want to have a good time, have some positivity shared between all of us here. You can ask us whatever you want. Like I said, as long as it's fun, as long as it's positive, it's great. We have lots of things that we've answered in the past. Lots of things we're looking forward to answering tonight. It could be Disney. It could be us. It could be anything in general. It could be just fun. Doesn't matter. Hey, Jonathan, good to see you there. The whole family's there. Jonathan, Camille, Lorelai, great. Good to see you. Hey, Donna, great to see you here.
Nice.
Appreciate you being here as well. Oh, and Lori's here. Good evening, Lori. Good to see you here as well.
Hi, thanks so much.
This is so fun. Good crew here. Good crew here
Yeah,
tonight. So,
yeah.
yeah. Let's have some fun here. So I think, Michelle, we'll kick it all off. I think you have some questions that were already sent to us in advance. Why don't you go to one of those first, and we'll get to that and before we get to some of the questions that
All
come
right.
from people that are here with us live.
All right. I'm just trying to get everybody in the
Yes, we have prizes tonight.
prizes.
We have some fun prizes, actually some real nice prizes.
Yeah,
I'm like,
so-
wow, amazing that these are going away from our home. I'm like, wait, you really want to get rid of these? Okay. Hey, look, it's the Young Adventures group. Excited to be here.
Hi, thanks for joining.
Oh.
All right.
We'll get to that question about Big Thunder Mountain in just a second here, but let's get to a question we've already received first of all, Michelle.
Okay, so this one came from Donna. Thank you, Donna, for sending that in advance. And she asks, I was wondering if you could explain DVC benefit costs and anything in between. Thanks so much.
Well, nothing like starting off something that will take the entire episode. Donna, thank you for that question. Really appreciate it. Go ahead, Michelle.
Well, okay, I'm going to try to keep it somewhat brief.
We have
here.
an episode, by the way, discussing that. You might want to check that out.
Yeah, but there's some things here I think that we can. The printer is acting up. It's like it's
Talking to us.
alive.
It wants to ask its own
It's
question.
live too. Okay, so at first you're going to give a giant lump sum of money to Disney. Yeah.
Large lump sum of money.
But it's that one-time giant lump sum. And then that gives you the opportunity to book stays year after year. And so rather than paying each time that you stay at a Disney resort, you're taking from this bucket of points. It's a lot more flexible than a typical timeshare because you're not locked into a certain set of weeks or anything like that. You can do it by the day, you can do it by the week, or anything in between. You could do it during busy season or less busy season. So it really allows a lot of flexibility. Now, I will say, and the one thing I think that made us hesitate for a long time was we didn't realize that, yes, there is an annual fee. It's like an HOA fee. So it's not the same thing as paying for the points year after year.
And that's based on where your home resort is.
Right. Now, the benefits, like I said, is the flexibility, first of all. For us personally, we like to do a lot of short stays, a day here, 2 days there, and then you can also vary by the size of the resort room that you want to get. But all in all, even at the smallest rooms that the villas have, they offer more convenience than just a regular hotel room because they have, let's call it a wet bar. It's like a little station that has a sink and then a microwave, toaster, mini fridge. So you have a little bit of flexibility there if you want to bring some even light food or breakfast items, things like that, and be able to have that convenience there. The other thing is you get a lot of discounts that you see with annual pass holders that have, but you also get access to the DVC lounge that they have at a lot of the parks. They have at Walt Disney World evening extended hours that are just for people who are staying at deluxe resorts and the villas, which DVC is that. So you get that as well. But I think, and it's hard to put maybe a price on this, but one of the things that we've discussed of why we like it for ourselves is that we sometimes, especially when we have Scott with us, we will go more towards like a 1 bedroom or a 2 bedroom, and when you look at the price of that, what you would be paying if you had to pay cash, it's well over $1,000. And I know that we would never do it. We would just say no. And so this affords us the opportunity to do that. We do it at least a little bit every year. Like I said with Scott, it gives a lot more space. And it also just is a lot more comfortable. And it's more comfortable for him too to have that additional space than just your traditional hotel room.
Yeah. Basic thing, Donna, is what you're doing is you're paying a lump sum up front for stays that you'll get for years to come. You depending on how many points you purchase, will different resorts have different point rates. It's just like when you're paying cash, as far as different times of the year, different days of the year, weekends are more than weekdays generally, and so forth, and where you're staying generally. But basically, you get an allotment of points based on that amount of money you spent at the beginning, and you get that every single year. You can borrow from years in the future. You can, if you don't use some up, you can put some in a bank and have them later. It's a lot to get into. Just a one quick answer here, which it's tough to really make it a quick answer. What I would suggest, and I think Michelle would do this too, if you have interest in doing DVC, they're all over the parks and even outside the parks and then the hotels. Speak to somebody from DVC, arrange a meeting with them. They're not high pressure. Talk with them. They'll break it all down for you and give you an idea of if it's right for you. So that would be, I think, where we would go. Right, Michelle?
Yeah, I think so. I think you've said it pretty well.
And it's definitely not right for everybody. It's right for us, but it's not right for everybody.
And the other flexibility thing is you don't have to stay at your home resort. So you can stay at other resorts. It's just your home resorts, you get first dibs at making reservations
exactly
further out.
Right. So yeah, it can be a bit confusing, but sometime maybe we'll sit down with you, Donna, and talk really about it, but just a little too much to get into this right now. Again, we do have episodes where we talk a lot about DVC. Let's get back to Young Adventurers question here. Isaiah asked if we had the chance to ride the new Thunder Mountain. They're hoping to get on it tomorrow. Michelle, have we had the chance yet?
No, not yet, but we're really looking forward to it. Yeah.
It's our favorite, or one of our favorites for sure. So we're really, really excited to check out the new magic that's been included.
Yeah, the concept art and the things that we've heard about it sound amazing. We're jealous of you, Isaiah, and I'm anxious to hear what you think of it. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we want to know. What are your thoughts? Is it improved? I've heard good things. So far. Derek is here. Hey, Derek, good to see you. He says it's fantastic. Good to know.
Nice.
Good to know. Jonathan's here with a question. Jonathan and the Camille family, Jonathan and Lorelei, the Cotton family, are here. They have a question that I think ties into exactly one that we received from Marianne as well.
Okay.
So they ask, any big Disney experiences you haven't done yet but want to do? Parks in other countries, Adventures by Disney. Alternate question, what's your favorite place that you've lived and why? We'll get to that one, but could you ask what Marianne wrote in regards to that as well?
Marianne's question is pretty similar. It says, what Disney park visit or experience are still on your wish list?
Yeah. So, Michelle, what would your answer to that be?
So my answer to that would be going over back to Disneyland Paris. Even though we've been to Disneyland Paris, the new adventure Adventure World that has the new lands. It has Frozen. It has the new water show. Um, it has, their version of Avengers Campus. So very much looking forward to doing that. We don't have anything planned in the near future, so maybe by the time we get out there, even the Lion King inspired land will be available. So what about you?
Yeah, that's one of them. I mean, there are so many. We just talked about Adventures by Disney on our last episode when they released the new itineraries. We talked about doing that we want to do that. Definitely want to get back. It's definitely on our list, and it's probably more likely to be happening within the next few years that we get out to Disneyland Paris and get to check out the new Adventure World over there and get to experience that. But really, I would really want to get to the Tokyo Disney Resort and see Tokyo Disney Sea.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
That whole area. I mean, everybody who's been there raves about it. It looks beautiful. When we got that tour and we were in the Imagineering, and we wasn't even really being or seeing a lot of it, but we went into a studio and they gave us some of the soundscapes that were surrounding us, along with some video of some of the areas there. And just that alone, it wasn't even really the attractions. It was just the soundscapes that went with it. Yeah. Was just perfect. And I'm like, we got to get there at some point.
True.
But all of them, we want to get to all the Disney parks. We want to get to all the Disney cruise ships. We want to get everywhere.
True.
So
yeah,
they're all on our list at some point. But yeah, hopefully
good question.
We'll get there. Yeah.
And what was the other part of the question about?
What's a favorite place that you've lived and why, Michelle?
San Diego. And I miss it. I miss San Diego so much. It's just, it has all the things that I find fun and exciting. It has the vibrance of being close enough to LA to have a lot of the great cultural things that come on there or easy access to them. But it's a lot more hometown or cozy comparatively to that area, and the weather is perfect. And yeah, I just think it's an amazing place to live.
Yeah, I mean, we like where we live now. I mean, we like our home anyway, where we live now. And we love being close to Walt Disney World.
Right.
But San Diego, man, I love San Diego. I lived most of my life there. How can I not love San Diego? Just getting back there. We got back there during this last trip in end of January, early February. And we'd been to San Diego shortly, since we left a little bit, but getting back there and spending several days there like we did, it was so nice.
Yeah.
And it was home.
And
it was great. Miss it very much, but we do love our new home here in Florida well. Very much. Hey, we have a question here from Laquan. Laquan asks, of course, it's going to be a Phineas and Ferb
I like it.
Laquan. That makes sense. When you first heard about Candace Against the Universe back in 2020, would you ever imagine that they would do a third one, another movie 6 years later? And what did you think of the first movie, Michelle? You're a big Phineas and Ferb fan.
I am. And it's funny because we just happened upon Phineas and Ferb late in the game. I think it had already finished its run for all the seasons.
Well, you have a funny story that you went to Comic-Con and went to one of the panels.
Yeah.
Like it was the final panel for the last season of Phineas and Ferb.
That's true.
And you're like, well, this is great. All these people are fantastic, right? But you had no idea anything about the actual series.
Yeah, I didn't know any of them. They had the full cast there, and I was actually just in the room waiting for the next panel because at Comic-Con, you get squatters' rights. So as soon as you get a spot in the room, you can stay there all day and just wait for the panel you want, rather than, and you might not get in unless you go in earlier. So, and I was just really impressed with how much love you could tell they had for each other. And they were crying and I was crying. I didn't even know them and everything. But anyways, I would never have thought they were going to come up with another season. It was just such wonderful joy to hear that they were coming up with a wonderful season. I love the movie Candace. We've seen all of the other movies as well, and I think they're all great.
Yeah.
I think my favorite though would be Candace Against the Universe, only because it during the pandemic it it personally resonated with me of, working in healthcare and the team that I was with, and the struggles we went through in that time frame that, we knew together we could do it. And I remember playing it for them and saying, this is our anthem.
Mhm.
So great question.
Yeah,
What
great
about you?
music. It's just as there are in all Phineas and Ferb episodes, great music in that movie as well. And yeah, it was a surprise when they decided that Candace Against the Universe was going to come out. We're like, great, some more Phineas and Ferb, because we were just starting to get involved with it at that
Right.
point. And then, yeah, the announcement that there's one, that they were going to return for more episodes.
Right.
The series was returning, and then yes, another movie. Yeah,
Ah,
we couldn't be more excited.
yeah.
We love it all very much. So very cool.
Yeah.
Hey, Cookie's here. Cookie, good to see you. And so is
Hi.
Rita. Rita's
Hi.
here. Hello, Rita. Good to see you. Derek has a question here for us. What's your favorite cast member moment in the last year? Michelle, you got anything that you can think of right off the bat? I've got one if you can't think of one.
The one, I think it might be a year, it might be a little over, but it was somebody that we had just happened upon. She actually stopped us. We were walking through the courtyards over between the Contemporary.
Actually, we stopped her. We saw her there. She's a PhotoPass photographer.
Oh, that's right. Yes, that's right.
Or am I thinking of a different one? I'm sorry if I was thinking
No,
of a different
Magic.
one. Yes, Magic.
Magic, which is her name. But anyways, yeah, we stopped her. We wanted to get a photo. Just we thought, oh, let's see what she's doing and we get a
She was
photo.
just there. No one was in
Yeah.
line to get a photo or anything.
And then she starts explaining to me, she goes, y'all have some time? Because I have some ideas. And she really spent a good at least 15, 20 minutes with us.
Oh, it was more than that, because she took us over to an area. If you happen to know the Contemporary, between the Contemporary and Bay Lake Towers, there's the Sky Bridge there, and there's a grass area, and in there they kind of have some planting that makes it look like Mickey.
Mickey head. Yeah.
Yeah.
with
And
flowers.
she's like, go pose by that. I'm going to go up on the Sky Bridge and take some pictures of you by this. And she took her time and took some amazing shots. You even suggested a pose, and she's like, that's great. Let's do that. It's fantastic. And it was really, really
Yeah.
unexpected and wonderful.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it was so funny. She was there yelling, like, okay, now do this and then stand here, move over this way. But it was just that she took that time with us, and it was just so amazing and unexpected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a treat. And some of our favorite photos that came out. And I
Yeah.
agree with you. I'm not sure if it's been a year, maybe a
Could be.
little over a year
Yeah.
since then.
What about
so.
you?
That's it.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
that I can think of. That's the one. That was amazing. But we've had some other great ones when we were at Disneyland. There were some fantastic cast member moments
Mhm.
there. I remember you getting the chili when you were when we were getting
Yes.
some of Walt's chili to go along with your breakfast.
Right.
It
Right.
was
Yeah.
perfect. So
So, yeah.
Yeah. Love the cast members. They make the magic, and
That's
magic
true.
made the magic that day. Yeah, it was really, really
Exactly.
nice. Let's see. So from Young Adventurers, Joy asked, "What new land you're most excited for, if it could be at any park?" Michelle, what new land are you most excited for?
I'm actually kind of excited for what's going to end up with the Cars Land theme that's going to be coming over.
Mm,
Is that a hot take?
Yes.
That I like
There's a-
something at Disney?
Some people are like, "Oh, Rivers of America is going away." You're like, "Oh."
I know, but I'm anxious to see how it is. I still think my favorite is the actual Cars Land over at
Of
Disney
course.
California
It's
Adventure Park, because you feel that you're right there in the movies. But I'm anxious to see what it's like. I mean, those are great characters, and that you can do a lot with them on attractions and things like that.
Mhm. I'm really excited for Tropical Americas. All
Mm.
about it. I'm all about
That's
it.
true.
I love Encanto. I can't wait to experience the Encanto portion of it. I love Indiana Jones. We've been able to ride the Indiana Jones attraction at Disneyland many, many times. I love it dearly. I
Mhm.
can't wait to see what they do to tell a little bit of a different story. Yes, it's still the dinosaur track, and
Right.
it's still basically the dinosaur vehicles, but tell a different story there. And everything around that area, it sounds like it's going to be beautiful, wonderful, lush, and fit right into Disney's
Mhm,
Animal
mhm.
Kingdom. I'm
Yeah,
very, very
yeah.
excited for when that eventually gets to debut as
Yeah,
well.
I think that theming ties in nicely.
Yeah. Very much so. So, do you have another question from Mary Ann there, Michelle?
We do. All right. It says, if you ran the parks, what would you do with the Wonders of Life Pavilion at Epcot?
You want me to answer first, or
Yeah,
want
you
to
can answer first this time.
So I thought about this because since I was able to see this question in advance, thank you, Mary Ann,
Yeah.
for sending them to us in advance. At first, I kind of thought something, okay, it's next to Guardians of the Galaxy, something kind of Marvel. There's not enough Marvel, and I don't know what the rules are, with some characters. As far as I know, that there are certain characters they cannot use at Walt Disney World because of a contract with Universal. But I was wondering about, it used to be Body Wars there, and I used to love Journey into Inner Space. Was it Inner Space?
Mhm.
Trying to remember the Disneyland attraction. I was thinking maybe an Ant-Man attraction would be fun there,
Ooh.
something like that, if that can be done. I don't know if Ant-Man can be done there or not. It'd be great. But the more I thought about it, I'm like, no, the perfect attraction. One, it has to be something needs to be done with that spot.
Yeah, I know.
It's just sitting there doing nothing. It's great space. Something needs to be done with that spot. The perfect attraction and something that is sadly underused in the parks, like almost completely, is we need a Wall-E attraction in there. It fits in there with the right there in between Guardians of the Galaxy, little space in Mission Space, even Space 220 right there. You can have something involving Wall-E there. And you can still include kind of Wonders of Life because it's all about conservation with Wall-E as well and preserving the planet. So you can do this great dark ride of doing, telling the story of Wall-E and come back to Earth at the end and how we can protect and make the planet a better place. That would be what I would do with that.
Wow.
Spot. Yeah.
That's a great answer. That's way better than mine. Mine was actually, I thought, with all that's been happening with the decision to return to the moon, I thought, why not do a reboot of Mission to the Moon or Mission to Mars?
I had that thought too. Yeah.
I mean, and not necessarily make it, you could update it somewhat, obviously, but not lose the character of that original attraction that was just so kitschy and everything like that. I think it would be hilarious.
I love that attraction growing up. I mean, I just love that. It was simply just you go into a theater and they would show a movie basically above and below you. And then the chairs would just sink like you were launching. It was just, it's so simple,
hilarious.
But it was so fun. I love that attraction. And yes, I whether it be there or whether they bring it to Tomorrowland,
right?
We need some things in Tomorrowland too.
That's true.
Bring it back to
the space where it was.
Yeah, absolutely. So those are good answer. Yeah. I like your answer because that's an attraction I love.
Yours was much deeper. I liked it.
Laquan has another question for us.
All right.
Were you guys a fan of Disney's Camp Rock franchise, and will you watch Camp Rock 3 this summer, in August? Michelle.
I was on the periphery of liking the music, but not necessarily into the show or the series. I have grown to love it a whole lot more and appreciate it a whole lot more. Yes, I will be watching it. I love the reboot with the mech shop with the Descendants and zombies and everything, and Camp Rock. I just think that's awesome, and love again the music from that concert. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, we are big listeners of the Disney channel on Sirius XM. So we listen to a lot of the music, and we were kind of not in that period of watching Disney Channel when a lot of these DComs came out. So didn't get to watch a lot of that. So unfortunately, we don't have a lot of Camp Rock history.
Right.
But do love the music, and definitely will probably check out Camp Rock 3 when it comes out.
For sure.
I guess we need to actually rewatch or watch the first few Camp Rock movies.
I mean, that's the same as Hannah,
Hannah Montana.
But now we loved it. We watched the Hanniversary and got teary-eyed.
So many of those that we just, it just wasn't on our radar per se when we were there. But mad respect for them for sure. Definitely love the music, 100%. Cookie's got a question here for her.
All right.
What is, if any, is your most memorable moment throughout the years while doing the podcast? Michelle, what's your most memorable moments of doing this show?
If I were to lump some things, I would say some of the very special guests that we've been able to have on. I think gosh, there's a couple that come to mind. So I hate to pick one over the other, but I think one of the most special, maybe because of the emotional tie-in that we had, was bringing in the co-writers and co-directors of the Disney short for the 100th anniversary, which was Once Upon a Classic.
Once Upon a Studio.
Once Upon a Studio. Thank you. I mean, that short is just was mind-blowing when we saw it. We loved it. We cried and loved it. The fact that we were able to get them on our show just blew our minds. And then even beyond that, we told them we were coming out to Southern California, and one of them was on maternity leave or paternity leave, but the other one was able to meet us at the studio, toured us of the Disney Animation Studios, and it was just magical.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that may be the biggest moment. I mean, having our first Disney legend on this year, Martha B, on the show was amazing as well. But my favorite moment is just getting to do this every week with you, with my sweetheart here. I love it so much, and getting to meet all you wonderful people. I mean, it really has been something that's been really special to us. Is some of the friendships we've made through this show has been really something we didn't expect when we started this thing.
Not at all.
We're coming up on 8 years now, next month. When we started, we had no idea that anything like that was going to happen. And you've touched our hearts in so many ways, and we appreciate you so much. And that's the biggest thing, I think.
Yeah. I mean, we've gotten to know some people and become very close. And I would never have in a million years, when you first suggested we do a podcast, that would ever happen. And it's just been magical.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm saying magical.
That's why we continue to do it.
Yes.
That's why we continue to do it for so many reasons. Hey, Jeffers is here. Hey, how you doing, Jeffers? Good to see you here. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Young Adventures is back with another question. Love talking about old attractions like Inner Space and Mission to Mars, etc. If you could bring back one and only one distinct attraction, which one would it be? I think Marianne has a very similar question to that, doesn't she?
No, I think that one actually. So
we had a different. That's right. We asked ChatGPT some questions.
Well, we asked AI. Yeah, we asked AI just out of curiosity, because I know a couple months ago you asked them to describe us and things like that, because I know that was a thing going on in a lot of social media. And I just threw out the question, what questions would you ask us on a on the Ask Us Anything podcast? And that is very similar to the one that AI said. It's let's see. Oh, actually, yeah. If you could permanently bring back one retired Disney attraction, show, restaurant, or experience, what would it be?
Yeah. So, Michelle, what's your answer to that one?
I actually have two, A and B. If I could only choose one, I would say Horizons.
That's a good one.
But if I could say two, I would add in Kitchen Cabaret. Both of them were at
Kitchen Cabaret.
Veggie, fruit.
Kitchen Cabaret.
I love that. But also, both of those I remember experiencing with my parents, and they're just special to me.
Yeah.
So what about you?
I'm going to a funny one. Just Kitchen Cabaret, maybe just think of one. I was thinking about a couple other things, but thinking of one when you said that. It's America Sings. I loved America Sings when I was a kid. I mean, really, it would be either Mission to the Moon or Mission to Mars, or Journey into Inner Space. I love those very much. But America Sings was funny. So America Sings, when they took the Carousel of Progress out of Disneyland and moved it to Magic Kingdom, they needed to do something with that space. They still had the same spinning platform. And what they did there was something they called America Sings. It had a lot of animatronics there. And you would go through it. A lot of the animatronics ended up being in Splash Mountain and Star Tours. They went all over the place once that closed. But you would go through these scenes, and there would be different periods of time and great music throughout the eras being sung by these animatronics as you went through. And I loved it as a kid. I loved it so much. I guess that would be the silly one that I'd love to see come back. Yeah, I never really thought about that one until you brought up veggie fruit. I thought, what's the veggie fruit of me?
Right.
Growing up and going to Disneyland, it's America Sings.
All right. Well, we have another Marianne
Oh
question.
yeah, let's get another Marianne question.
Okay, so Marianne says, "What Disney souvenir do you have the largest collection of?" And she was like, "Long Fly or whatever."
Michelle, what collection is your largest?
My pin collection. This is just a small sample.
Oh, that's not close to
That's not close.
what she has.
Tons and tons of lanyards filled with pins. And the most, I'm not even showing them very well, but the most remarkable thing is a lot of time we didn't buy these. I mean, a lot of times we didn't actually buy pins. You know, a lot of them are souvenirs from tours that we've been on, or locations that we've been, or different events that they've given away pins. I'm not saying we haven't bought any, but have a lot of times too. I would buy really inexpensive sets and then try to trade up.
Mhm. Yeah,
So
she's got a lot of pins.
I
She's
got
got a lot of pins.
lots and lots of pins.
When we go to the parks, she's the one who's trading pins. I'm the one who spots. Okay, you might want to look at that board over there. But I have pins too. But my pins I keep. I only get special pins. I don't trade pins.
Yeah.
She loves trading pins.
Yeah, and that's why I say I usually try to get some of the, initial sets that don't cost as much. And then, like I said, try to trade up at different things. But I would say the majority of them are more souvenir type things that we've gone.
Yeah, you have a bunch that you
Yeah.
that you will not trade. They are special to you
Right.
for whatever reason.
The ones we do buy though are for whenever we go on a Run Disney.
Yeah. And sometimes some special ones for cruises and so forth. We've done
Right,
some
right.
of that. And like when Galaxy's Edge opened up, I think we got a pin there
Yeah,
for that
but-
and everything else.
Yeah.
But what she's not telling you is that her real biggest collection is maps. She gets maps every time we go to a park, and it's multiple. And a lot of times they're not in English. A lot of times they're in French. She has so many maps. I don't even know what. I think we have an extra house just for how many maps she has. That's what her real collection is.
I know. I wish I'd kept a lot of the original ones that we got, or that I got over the years. But yeah, I do some things with them, and Scott likes them too. So
Me, I'm not really a collector. I have a few things. I mean, like I mentioned, the pins. I like to have some memories of Run Disney races and some special events and things that we've gone to. I do have some of those. The medals, of course, are probably the biggest thing that I collect. We pay for those significantly. I'm just not a stuff person. I like experiences, not as much stuff. So I don't buy a lot of stuff. Michelle, actually, most of the stuff that we have that's Disney related is probably Michelle has bought for me because I just don't buy a lot of stuff. Every once in a while, I find a shirt or something like, oh, I really got to get that. But I don't collect a lot. I don't.
Right.
But still, that's
Yes,
okay
I
because Michelle does plenty of collecting for us.
it's better that's this way, I
That's
think.
right. That's right. All right. Jeffers has a question here. I know you guys love the Poly. We sure do.
Mhm.
But are there any resorts you haven't stayed at that you want to check off your list, Michelle?
Well, I think the only one that I have not stayed at is the Art of Animation. And I would like to stay there. I would like to try some of some of the themed suites that they have there. But it's again now once that's the other downside. I don't know if it's a downside, but with Disney Vacation Club is you tend to stick with the resorts that are the villas and don't experiment quite as much.
Yeah, it's not a bad choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've stayed at so many. I've never stayed at Yacht and Beach yet. I think you have. I've not. So I'd like to experience that at some point. Does the Four Seasons count? Can we count the Four Seasons? Can we stay there and not have to pay for it? I think it's the what is it? The Art of Marvel at Disneyland Paris.
Oh yeah.
That's the one that I really want to stay at some point. I don't know if we will the New York one,
Right.
the Art of Marvel or whatever it's called there. That's the one. I've heard nothing but phenomenal things about that resort.
Yeah.
I really want to stay there.
Although I'd want to stay at the regular
The
Disneyland.
the one that's right on the park. Yeah, that's not a bad choice there
Yeah,
as well.
because they renovated that as well. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Laquan, what's this? When you guys started your amazing podcast 8 years ago, what made you decide to create both your podcast, email, and website? Michelle, what made us do that?
I think you started them. So
Yeah, because I'm nuts. I'm kooky and crazy. And that's exactly kind of what your thought was when I suggested we do this podcast. Laquan, I was in radio when we first started this podcast. And I know we had multiple radio stations there, and some of them were looking for some content. And, talk sports a lot, talk about some, what we mostly talk about is Disney. And most of our friends and family were tired of us talking about Disney. I'm like, well, why don't we put this out there and see if anybody listens to it in the world? And I kind of had these delusions of grandeur of like, okay, we'll start this, and then the radio station will take notice that we're doing this, and they'll pick us up and put us onto the radio station. And then, from there, we're going to start getting all these guests because we're part of this radio station. We'll get some trips to Disney because of it. And it started to go that way. We got picked up by the radio station. We were doing things on the radio station. And then the radio station completely went away. But we decided to keep the podcast, but because we love doing it so much. So that's why we continue to do it now from our home instead of when we first started from an actual radio studio.
Right. Yeah. And then, we saw the need to have the website and the email just to help support that and to be able to make connections for people to, either get information or have guests come on and things like that.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's been great. It's been a great 8 years. And we continue to have fun with it every single week. I mean, we haven't done a week where we've missed an episode. I don't know how, it's got to be at least 4 or 5 years since we've even done like a best of episode or something because we haven't been out of town.
Right.
That's how much we enjoy it. So yeah, it's fun. What's this, Cookie? Yes. She'll never get lost with all those maps. That is very, very
good
true.
thinking.
Hey, Jen, good to see you here. Glad you made it.
Oh, thank you.
You're a little early for our anniversary or a little late for our wedding anniversary, but either way, appreciate you being here. From Young Adventures, Alana asks, what's your favorite place to get popcorn at Disney? Michelle, what's your favorite place to get popcorn at
My
Disney?
favorite place to get popcorn now is kind of new, is over in Batu.
Is it Kaseska's?
Yeah. I like their blend there. It's really kind of good. I don't know if you've tried it.
Yeah. I tried it with you, but I like anywhere to get popcorn. I like popcorn. Although I will say I'm not the hugest popcorn eater in the parks. I don't eat a lot of popcorn. Like you put me in a movie, like give me some popcorn. I'm going to probably before the trailers are done, that bucket will be gone.
Yeah.
I do love my movie popcorn, but I don't eat a lot of popcorn.
Or even at the cruise movies.
Yes.
When we're on the cruises, we like to get the popcorn.
That's my favorite place to get popcorn on cruise ships for sure. Jeffrey agrees with that marble.
Yeah.
Looks here. First time, long time. I'd like to ask Michelle, how did she get good at her list? Michelle, how did you get so good at her list?
I just daydream. I really like working at it. It's something that when I have a list that I have to work on, I do it all week long. I'm tweaking it and changing things here, adding, subtracting.
She's so good at her list because that's just her. She's a little out there and yet awesome all at the same time. And so when you get her list, it's a little out there, but it's definitely awesome. That's Michelle. You want to know about Michelle? Go to her list.
But I have learned not to do trivia questions anymore. I tend to make them too hard.
Oh man, so good.
Gosh.
Donna asks, what has been your favorite cruise? Michelle, you want to think about that, or do you have one that comes to your mind right off the bat?
I think I have one that comes. If I'm talking Disney cruise, we had the opportunity to, there's a couple favorite ones that we did our vow renewal on a Disney cruise. And so that was pretty nice. And we actually splurged on concierge and things like that. So
not just concierge. Well, it was concierge.
I wasn't trying to be bragging or anything.
We splurged. We really splurged.
Humbled.
We were in a royal suite so we had enough room to house our family didn't. They were on the ship with us, but most of them were staying in other cabins, but for us to, my mom and Nick and everything. But for us to have space to actually have our ceremony in that cabin. So we did that. It wasn't a long cruise.
And it was one of the smaller ships.
Yeah. It wasn't like we were doing 15 nights in the royal suite or anything. But it was really, really.
Yeah. And it was a repositioning.
Yeah.
And so. Yeah.
Yeah, that's when concierge cost a bit less than it does
Yeah.
now. Yeah, we
It's
don't do
very
concierge
different.
anymore
Yeah.
because it's just too pricey for us now. Not that we wouldn't, but
Yeah.
not so much. My favorite Disney cruise. Oh wow, that's tough.
The transatlantic.
I did like the transatlantic, except for the crazy crossing when we had the really mixed high seas
Made
for
it
a
exciting.
few days, but it did make it. We made a lot of great friends
Mhm.
on that cruise because of the fact that we were inside together a lot because the seas were so crazy. But we made some great port stops there. I know you have some PTSD, but I have such weird memories and interesting memories about the Panama Canal COVID cruise when the world went crazy. That was it was such an interesting cruise. I think our favorite cruise though of all time was not Disney. We had a cruise that was a transatlantic cruise starting in Dover, and we stopped in, let me see, we stopped in Dublin, we stopped in Belfast, we stopped in Iceland,
Glasgow.
we stopped in Glasgow too, not Belfast. We just stopped
we
in
did.
Belfast and Glasgow. Yeah, that's right. Stopped in Iceland. Just after sailing out of Iceland, we got to see the Northern Lights. Went to Greenland. Actually, we had, because the seas and the weather was perfect, we had an extra time in Greenland where we got to sail through some fjords and by some glaciers there, which was not part of the itinerary. Then a stop in Greenland and just going into this town, and they don't normally get cruise ships there, so they don't have like a lot of things to do in Greenland. So they brought in people from those around surrounding towns, and they came in and they performed and did different things for us. It was amazing. Then we stopped in Newfoundland and ended up in New York City. It was just an incredible. And before that, the weather in Paris was perfect. It was amazing. It will never be duplicated.
Right.
Such a crazy cruise.
Yeah.
Not Disney, but so fun just the same.
Yeah.
Follow-up question from Jeffers here to Jen's question. Do you keep the liars, and when will the lists? When will they be published as a book? Now we go.
Wow.
It's a money-making idea.
Yeah.
Then we'll have to catch you in on that.
Yeah.
If we do end up
talk.
making
Let's talk.
Yeah, definitely. Yes.
Yeah.
I like that idea. Well, soon now.
Yeah.
Now that you've suggested it, that's
But
going to be
we do
happening
keep
soon.
the lists.
Donna, do you use DVC for cruising? No, we do not. We know some people that do. Usually it's people that bought in early, because if you bought in early, you bought points at probably a much lower rate than we did. It's not the best necessary use of points. You get more value from using it to do hotels. Honestly, you get more days at hotels with those points. You can certainly do that. And there's some people that will split the price of a room and use some DVC points for half the room and pay for half the room. And you can do that. But it just the math doesn't really make a lot of sense to us personally.
Right. I mean, it depends. So on a cruise, we met somebody, and she actually had inherited her parents' points. And she doesn't live in Florida. She doesn't go to Disney World very often. So she does use her points for cruises. So
yeah.
So for some people, it could
definitely can work. And especially if you have plenty of points, it can work for you. And they've had talked to us about ways it might work. And in some ways it does. But we like to use if you're pretty much to do that, you pretty much either have to have a lot of points or you need to use just the points just for cruising. It's really, you can't do both resort stays and cruises
right
as well.
without a lot of points. Yeah. I mean, and if it depends on how you vacation. So if you do vacation by cruising more than going to the park resorts, then they could work for you.
So much.
Yeah.
So yeah, it can be done. It's just not right for us. And Donna, the cruise line, it was Carnival. Believe it or not, that was a Carnival cruise. We've had good experiences with Carnival. We've had some really not so good experiences with Carnival. That was an amazing one with Carnival.
Yeah. I mean, we picked it out for the itinerary, but then when we boarded, what we found out was the head cruise director, the director of all the Carnival cruise directors, was on our ship. And he was, the one really kind of calling all the shots, and he had a lot more flexibility with changing some things with itineraries and making things happen. So I think that also was why it was more special than most
Yeah.
Carnival cruises, because he's not usually on.
Yeah, and we had perfect weather. I mean, literally. I mean, I talked about the transatlantic cruise where it was crazy going across the Atlantic. It can be in the Northern Atlantic. We had like picture perfect, smooth seas. It like couldn't have been better weather. So we got very.
I
very
had my
lucky.
swimsuit on
That's right.
in Greenland.
Somewhere we have a picture of her on our balcony in Greenland in a bathing suit. Yeah.
So we have another Marianne question.
Okay, go ahead.
It says, what is your favorite non-Disney theme park?
Michelle, do you have a favorite non-Disney theme park?
Yeah, I mean, I would say Universal. I'm really not, surprisingly, not familiar with the one in Florida as much as Hollywood. But I think I like that because it was also a real working for the old movies and things like that. I love their Harry Potter and Simpsons areas. I think they're great. So I think that would be my selection. What about you?
I agree with you, actually. Yeah, we haven't got much to, we haven't got much to outside of Disney. It's like, well, Disney's right there. Why are we going to Universal or to SeaWorld or anything around here? But we have talked. We do want to get to Epic Universe possibly next year at some point. So we definitely want to do that. There's definitely no shade on Universal. We appreciate them. We totally respect what they're doing. They're just not as much, hasn't been our thing, at least in Orlando. I grew up going to Universal Studios Hollywood, and I love Universal Studios Hollywood for not so much for, yes, I mean, the Harry Potter thing is great and all that, Springfield, the Simpsons area is fantastic, but it's for where movies are actually shot. Once you go there and you see all these actual real locations that you've seen on the screen, on television, it just changes you a little bit. And it's not as good as it used to be, because it used to be the tours used to be all be about the movies, and they still are somewhat. But now there's so much more, like we need to, have whiz bang things going on and stuff, but still, when you get to go there, it's pretty amazing because you will recognize so many spots from so many different shows and so many different movies. And yes, the obvious ones, but so many more that you'll see filmed all the time.
To see where, what was the
the Psycho House is there, the real Psycho House is there.
Jaws.
Of course, the courtyard and the clock tower for Back to the Future is there. But so many other things. Like once you've been there, you'll start picking out like, oh, there's the Universal lot. There's the Universal lot when you're watching TV, for better or worse, on that. Hey, Helen and Tom are here. Hey, Helen and Tom.
Hi.
How would you suggest a family of 4 on a budget plan for a Walt Disney World vacation? Michelle.
Me?
What's that budget? That's what I need to know. Is it like a huge budget?
Nah. I think if there are certainly ways to do it that you can, cut some costs. First of all, they do have the value resorts at Walt Disney World, and I think that's super beneficial because you do have, you get a room that is going to be clean, well maintained, and things like that you're going to be comfortable in. They have a lot that they offer in terms of their food courts and things like that. And you still get the same level of like transportation to the parks and, water parks and things like that. So you get all the same kind of benefits for the most part that you do at any of the resorts at Walt Disney World. And then, that's where you can then either through some of the food options there, because they are food courts, or you can, cut some costs down on things like breakfast. Have breakfast in your room. If you can, do like cereals or toast and fruit and, things like that, and cut that meal, because a meal for a family of 4, even for breakfast, can start adding up, and just doing some things like that. Or, snacks in your room in the evening versus, going out and getting something very expensive for desserts and stuff like that. Maybe do some splurging at some of the restaurants, whether it be, table service or some of the nicer quick service, but then still have the ability to, cut costs in some of the other
Mhm.
ways, shave some of those costs off.
Yeah. There are ways around. I mean, look, Disney's expensive. It was expensive when I was growing up. There's a reason why I went to Universal a lot. There's a reason why I went to Knott's Berry Farm a lot when I was in California, when I was growing up. It's because even then Disneyland was expensive. And so it wasn't something that I would go to regularly. And it still is that way. It's still expensive and it's very expensive. If family afford, that's on a budget, depending on what their budget wants to go, save up some money, make it be a big thing. Maybe you can't go all the time, but make it a big trip. Prioritize what you want to do. Do you want to stay on property, or can you save a little money and stay off property and come in? If you can't, how long can you stay? The longer you can stay, the lesser the ticket prices become on a daily basis. As you move along it through it, it's all up to you and what your priorities are and what you can do.
Right. And you don't have to go in the parks every day. There's so many other activities that you can do outside of going into the parks. I mean, you can go to the pool at your resort, whether that's on property or not. Most places still have pools, and
especially in Florida, you got to
do that. Or just hotel hop and look at the things going on at different resorts, especially certain times of the year where they have a lot of different decorations and things. But yeah, so kind of balance that with going into the park sometime and having some not in the park times.
Yeah. Again, prioritize, plan. There are good times of year where there's a lot of discounts that can play into the equation. There's always discounts going on if you look for them. Certified Disney vacation planners are very helpful if you don't want to do the research yourself, because they can do all that for you and they don't cost you anything extra. So that's part of it. But mostly it's doing research in some way, shape, or form to find the best way to accomplish what you want and know and prioritize what you want.
Right.
Marianne has a question. I think it's mostly for me. What is your favorite national day of that you've shared on the morning show? Oh boy, there's so many weird ones. Today is National Chicken or Dance Like a Chicken Day. It's so fun. I love fun, silly ones. Not that long ago was Ride Your Horse to the Bar Day. I love silly, ridiculous national days for whatever reason. Well, some of those are I'm kind of blanking on them right now, Marianne, but I think those are the ones that struck me right off the bat. I also love all the food ones. Like today's Buttermilk Biscuit Day. I'm like, oh man, I just really want some buttermilk
I heard
biscuits.
you talking about how to make buttermilk. I was like, oh, okay.
So all of those, I love them all. I love all their national days that we go through, and then so many that pay tribute to great people and great ideals.
Yeah.
So much so around. Yes, thank you, Jen. Please hit that thumbs up if you're watching.
Thank you. Yes.
Let's see. Jen also said, now that you've been in Florida for a bit, back in Florida for half, how have you adjusted? Missing San Diego. You missed that part. We just said how much we missed San Diego a little bit ago. Any tips for those thinking of making the move? Are you thinking of making the move, Jen? You're thinking about making the move? We suggest it. We recommend it. Any of that, Michelle?
Yeah, definitely miss San Diego a ton. But appreciate what Florida has to offer. And there's definitely been, for us personally, because of the reason for our move has worked out for us well. I think obviously the big thing that really comes to mind is the cost difference. I mean, living in San Diego versus living in Florida, big difference, so that kind of, I think, softens it a lot too. Yeah.
Mostly it's been because it's been great for Scott. It's been really, really good for Scott that we get to see him more regularly, even when he's with his father for 6 months of the year. He's going to be here in just a couple of weeks with us before, and then he'll be back with us for 6 months in July, starting in July. But it's been so good for him to not have to travel all the way cross country, whether it's be driving or whether it's flying, none of that. He hasn't had to deal with that. And just the ability for all of us to be able to spend more time with him. That's been great. Yes. Miss San Diego not every single day, but a lot, really do a lot. especially after we were just visited very much. Any tips for those making the move? Get used to heat. It's hot here. It's really hot. It's already hot here. So you kind of got to get used to that. It depends on, I mean, look around. If you want to live in Orlando, great. I don't know if you get the best bang for your buck. And that was our experience when we thought about moving out here first. We looked around Orlando and wasn't a lot of bang for our buck there. That's why we looked at some other communities nearby that's kind of close enough to Walt Disney World or to the things we want to do, and yet also someplace where we thought we had, it was a nice community, got more, a little more space, a little bit more bang for our moving dollar.
Yeah. And I think the other thing that we saw in Orlando was, that you would see areas that would have a fair amount of houses that were being used at least parts of the year as Airbnbs. I mean, we did go through a realtor and things like that. So, I mean, we liked being in a neighborhood environment. We had that in San Diego and we have that here. So I think that was something that, we wanted to feel like our neighbors are here, so.
Yeah. We're really happy with our move. I mean, we love San Diego still dearly, but we're really happy with our home here. We're really happy with our neighborhood.
Yeah.
There are some things to get used to with Florida if you're not used to that kind of area, this kind of space, including the heat, including the weather. You'll never watch the weather like you will here in Florida because the weather's crazy here. I mean, I'm not just talking about the big storms that you're always watching out for. We're just over a couple of weeks away from hurricane season starting up here, which is then you'll be watching it all the time. But even the other stuff that's crazy around here, it's like we watch the news every day. It's not for the news. It's just for the weather every day. We love it. We love it.
Plan.
Is there any more questions that you had that were sent to us in advance?
Let's see. I think we got all the ones that were sent to us in advance. We have the more AI ones.
Okay, no, that's good. Since we're pushing an hour here, let's go ahead and get to our giveaways here, Michelle, because thank you so much for all your questions. You guys are wonderful. You really turned out tonight. And I can't tell you, we always go into this thing. Michelle's nervous because of what could happen on the show. I'm nervous that
nobody shows up.
Will anybody actually show up? You did. Thank you. We can't tell you how much we appreciate this. So,
all right. So
we'll do our first giveaway here to somebody who's asked a question on today's show. And that is Camille. Camille has won our first prize.
All right. Well, our first prize is.
Oh, we may have already given Camille that.
I know. Well, but it has other things. So
we may come up with an alternate gift for you, Camille.
Okay, Camille. We're throwing in. We'll show you what it is. It's different and the same. So it is a towel. It is some lanyards, which look like this. Cute. And
it's another Disney Cruise Line
luggage
prize package to induce you to be going
autograph
to
book.
do another Disney cruise, hopefully with us.
And we are throwing in also this collectible Disney key. Yeah,
that's really nice. That is collectible. That's pretty great.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
So there's our first prize. We have one more prize to give away to some lucky person who asked a question today as I reach into the bucket here. And who do we have here that is a winner tonight? It is Laquan. Laquan, you have won a prize from us.
All right, Laquan, here we go. Your prize package is a very fun Star Wars book that gives you all kinds of little fun things to do. This is actually a little tote bag. It's sealed up.
From Star Wars Celebration.
Star Wars Celebration and opening day hat from.
That's the one I was questioning on whether we should give away or not. That actual hat we purchased our first day at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, which was the second day it was open for previews at Disneyland. So
yeah, we bought several of them, and so one of them unused. It's going to you, Laquan.
So Laquan, well, send us your address and everything so we can get those prizes off to you. Camille will be sending those prizes off to you as well. So thank you to everybody who took part tonight.
Yeah.
Really, really appreciate you again. Thank you for showing up. Thank you, Jonathan. Yep. So glad you were able to catch the live one this year. Really much.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yep. Cookie, thank you.
Yeah.
Glad
so
you had a
nice that
wonderful
y'all
evening.
came
We had a
on.
wonderful evening. So glad to see so many friends, so much family here. Thank you for
Yeah, we
making.
felt the love.
Yeah. Oh, you're too much, Jen. Thank you. Yeah, you're the best.
Aw.
You're the best. Thank you for saying that. And yes, congratulations to all the winners.
Yes.
We had so much fun. Yay.
Yay.
So yes, thank you so much for all your questions. Again, just because this is an Ask Us Anything episode doesn't mean you can't ask us questions at any time of the year. We'll be happy to answer to them off the air, on the air, whatever you like. Just let us know. If you don't want us to read the question on the air, we won't do it. But we'll also answer those questions on the air. But we love this. Thank you so much. You guys are great. We appreciate you so much. Thank you
Yeah.
for joining us for our 7th annual
Woohoo.
Ask Us Anything show. Everybody, any closing words, Michelle?
No, same thing that I want to echo what you said. We really appreciate you all came to this event with us. So we're not sitting here looking at each other and hearing crickets. And
We still hear crickets. And I like looking at her, so that's okay.
but yeah, you made it fun for us and we really appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks for all your questions. Thanks for your comments. Thanks for everything. Just thanks for being there. And thanks for being there all the time. We appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks again.
Bye.
Bye.